Welcome to this presentation about Casc. This board and the board before it have spent a considerable amount of time looking into the club's ongoing membership of Casc. These slides, which have been used in a forum with members, is also to help those members who can't attend the meetings to see the rationale behind why this board and the previous board are in total agreement that we should now seek to exit Casc. Exiting Casc is not easy, but it's actually done quite simply by breaking the rules. That is to put our subs above the limit. The purpose of the following slides, therefore, is to explain to you that thinking so that when the EGM is held, probably in June, members are suitably informed. What will be covered in this presentation, which is effectively an information update for members, is what is Casc and why did we join it? What Casc information is there about golf clubs, especially in the Southeast? The financial impact since we joined in 2014. A summary what if forward looking at the financials for 5 years, both if we stay in Casc or if we decide to leave. An update on the pros and cons on staying and leaving Casc. The advisors that your board has been using in this process, what the next steps are, and if members have any questions, details of how to get those addressed. Casc was introduced in 2002 by the then Labour government and was updated in 2015 when the rules regarding the ceiling on subscriptions was introduced, and that is the major issue facing Cromehurst Golf Club. The aim of Casc was to simply level up and support grassroots sport facilities to the wider population and is open to all manner of sports clubs, and as a result there are now over 7,300 Casc registered members. The benefits, financially, are an 80% discount in business rates, which to our golf club equates to £51,000 in the current year. You can also get tax relief on gift aid, such as we're doing for the Path, and there are some partial corporation tax reliefs. The restrictions, however, and which are of major concern to the board, are that fees are capped at £1,612 a year, and it's not possible to have any joining fee, as many golf clubs now do, and also there is restricted vetting of applicants. We joined in 2014, however, because the then board was struggling for financial viability, and it was an ability to reduce costs, mainly through the rates relief. The tax relief is partial, and the gift aid is 25% for every pound that's given by the member, but that only materialises when we actually have a gift aid appeal. So was Casc really designed for golf clubs? Well, the answer has to be, especially in the southeast of England, an emphatic no, and that's actually been admitted to us by the Inland Revenue themselves. It's mostly designed for more general sports clubs, cricket clubs and tennis clubs in the UK. And that's highlighted by the fact that in the Greater London and southeast of England area, only 4 clubs, including Cromehurst and Langley, are Casc registered. And Langley, of course, have recently voted to exit Casc. Given that Greater London southeast area has the highest population of golf clubs in the UK, it is no small wonder that there are only 4 that are actually Casc registered. The vast majority of golf clubs that are registered are either in Scotland, north of England, Wales and the West Country, where of course the fees are substantially lower. The subs of non-Casc clubs in our region are now 15% plus higher than what we ask you as our members to pay. That's in excess of £100,000 a year of income. The conclusion you have to draw from this investigation, which has been going on for 12 months now, is that Casc is not fit for purpose for private golf clubs in the southeast. What this slide shows you is the estimated financial impact since we joined Casc in 2014. What you can see is that the benefit fairly quickly declined from the rate savings, and as membership also plunged. But our net benefit from what subs should have been, had they been following the trend of most of the marketplace, was clearly evidencing that the benefit in rates was being outstripped by the lost income from rates being higher. This is especially so in the last 2 or 3 years when our membership has climbed back up to the current level of 670 or so paying members, such that we are losing income each year in the region of £30,000. In addition, and this is particularly important, the loss of joining fees, even estimated at a relatively low sum of say £750, amounts to another 172,000 of lost income. In total, that figure you can see is 354,000. That is the impact now we are seeing year after year after year, and which will only get worse because subs are restricted, and of course our costs in every aspect of the business keep going up. Part of exiting Casc is that we have to produce a 5-year forecast for the inland revenue, if that is a decision which the board recommends and members ultimately follow in the forthcoming EGM. Obviously, this is only a forecast, but reflects the fact that subs will remain broadly the same. Green fees, still a healthy number compared to historically, but lower than what they have been in the last 2 years as people go back to a more normal way of working. And costs rising, and of course taking on board the extra rates. The in column, which is staying in Casc, shows us repeatedly making losses on the current business model, whereas the out column is getting out of Casc, showing a profit, even allowing for the extra rates. Overall, you can see the cumulative figure is at almost a £500,000 variance between staying in Casc with a cumulative loss of 265,000 and a cumulative profit of 208,000 if we exit. This is an exercise that Langley have also done as part of their process of voting to exit Casc on the 1st of June this year, and they came up with a very similar conclusion. So this slide is just intended to give you a feel for what are the reasons to stay in Casc and the consequences against what are the reasons to leave and the consequences. The reasons to stay are simply the ongoing rates relief worth £50,000 plus a year, the tax rebates that we get through Just Giving, and any corporation tax benefit. Member subs will remain unchanged, but the need to cover the extra income to keep the business viable will inevitably mean more visitors. In other words, going even more to a pay and play model. We will be loss-making without that increased visitor income, and there'll be less to reinvest in the business and keep the course at the quality it now is. We've confirmed with the revenue that there are absolutely no changes expected to the £1,612 ceiling, so the benefit in terms of being in Casc will become even more negative, probably into 6 figures before long. If we leave, the consequences, well, yes, your sub and my sub will go up to something over £1,700 a year. It's worth noting that Langley have put this up to £1,895, and it will go up if we go up, say, at £1,750, still further in 2024 and 25. We are several years, probably 5 years, behind our peer group, and the business cannot be sustained without that level of income or changing the business model itself. By doing this, we'll have less reliance on visitor income, giving more availability to members. We'll also charge a joining fee so that new members put something towards all the effort, financially and hard work, etc., that has gone on in the last years, keeping this course in the great condition it now is. The assets will be returned to the members' ownership, and it will help cement our financial recovery. We don't need to make large profits because we don't pay dividends, but the profits we do make enable us to reinvest in the course and the clubhouse. It will also enable us to pay more to our employees rather than paying the absolute minimum simply to survive. In other words, it will put us on a road to firm financial recovery and be on a par with our competition over the next 4 to 5 years. This has been a long, drawn-out process to find the means to leaving Casc. And the answer is you have to break the rules and then tell the revenue in advance. On that basis, we've employed solicitors who acted for Langley Park, a firm based in Newcastle by the name of Muckles, who are experienced in Casc exit, including sports clubs who own their own property. We've been using an accountant at Lucraft Hodgson Doors in Brighton. Again, they have experience of exiting Casc for their clients. We've had to use our auditors for certain historic information, but we did want to have a completely independent review of this process, hence using who we have. Finally, we've had an up-to-date valuation on the clubhouse undertaken by a major firm, so that if this does get challenged by the revenue, we have a big hitter in that marketplace with the experience of golf clubs to help us fight that case. The total cost of this advice should be less than £10,000 just, but was essential to making sure that the board took a full and properly considered position. So what happens next? Well, we've been holding the forums to inform members of the board's desire to exit Casc. The purpose of this presentation being online is to help those members who couldn't make the dates where the presentations were held in the clubhouse. We are getting the up-to-date valuation and working with the accountants to try and establish as closely as possible any penalty that the revenue may apply on our exit. The next step then is to have an EGM, probably in June, at which point members can vote to stay or leave exit. There are two directions. You can see the argument, and if we seek to exit Casc, the decision then is that we will not have to become more of a pay and play club, but we can retain a private member status. We can ascertain the exact cost of exit, and basically if it's less than £100,000, then the board, with the members' approval, will proceed. If it's greater than that, then the members will be advised, and if need be, a further EGM can be held to approve. We have to advise HMSC in advance, so that date that we are working towards is the 1st of May 2023, and we would give them advice to the revenue by saying that the subs will be at an amount in excess of £1,700 in 2023. That exactly mirrors how Langley have gone about it, albeit their subs have gone up from £1,612 a year to £1,895. There will, of course, be ongoing communication with members as matters progress. This is a major decision about the future of the club. If members decide against it, the business will have to be restructured accordingly. If the members vote for exit, this board will get on with putting the club on the sound footing it should be. That's the information about Casc and exactly what it means. There have been endless rumours, both from when we first went into Casc and how we went into Casc, but I'm not going to go over old ground. It's about looking to the future. I can only repeat, your board is unanimous in wanting to get a yes vote to exit Casc. The rest is down to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at the address shown, and I will do my best to answer you as quickly as possible. Thank you for looking at this video, and I look forward to seeing you around the club. Thank you very much.